us see June 6th Indian Express news articles. First article is related to Twitter takes center to court over some orders for takedown of content. This article is relevant to GS2 paper Polity and Governance. What to read is how to make social media accountable. Challenges before the government, emerging issues as laws and legislations in India, and what lies ahead. Let us see this article in detail. Twitter had initiated legal action against some of the government ordering it to take down a certain content posted on the microblogging site according to the sources with knowledge of matter. Last month, IT Ministry had written to Twitter asking it to comply with the orders by July 4 and lost its safe harbor protection under the intermediary rules. Content blocking order issued under Section 69A of the Information Technology Act 2000. It is learned that in its filing, Twitter had claimed that many of these blocking orders are procedurally substantially defined under Section 69A of the Act. This includes aspects such as not giving prior notice to users before taking down content posted by them. According to another source, the company alleged that Ministry of Information and Technology has failed to demonstrate how some of its content it wants to taken down for full under purview of 69A. Section 69A. So Twitter has claimed that the basis on which the multiple accounts and the content flagged by the ministry are either overbroad or arbitrary and disproportionate. The content flagged by ministry may pertain to official accounts of political parties blogging, which would be violative of the right to speech. Between January and June 2021, India had a fourth highest number of legal takedown requests according to Twitter report. In this time, Twitter saw 1060% rise in blocking accounts and said that spike was particularly the result of compliance of an Indian order. Let us continue this article here. Indian Minister of Communication and Information Technology said, countries across the world, including India, are moving towards making social media accountable. Social media is a powerful medium. It has a lot of influence in our lives today. Its accountability is a valid question across the world. Countries and societies across the world are moving in the direction to make social media accountable. The first is self-regulation. The content that can create a harmful impact in society should be removed by self. Adding that industry regulation and government regulations could also help. Any ecosystem that a thought process is currently built up across the world and India, and that social media should be accountable. Vaishnav said, if the social media is earning revenue from news content, then the part of it should be shared with the news organization. Secondly, you all work hard and get into journalism. You create a content by going into different places and asking questions. The benefit should come to you. If social media is earning revenue, for instance, if Facebook is earning revenue, then a part of it should come to you. Twitter post said that in India, all including foreign internet intermediaries platforms have right to court and judicial review, but equally all intermediary platforms operating here have ambiguous obligation to comply with our laws and rules. Section 69A of IT Act 2000 allows the center to issue the blocking orders to social media intermediaries in the interest of sovereignty, integrity of India, defense of India and security of the state, friendly relation with the foreign state or public order, or preventing incitement to the commissions of any cognizable offences relating to the above. As per the rules that govern these blocking orders, any request made for blocking by the government is sent to the review committee, which then issues these directions. Blocking orders issued under Section 69A of the IT was typically confidential in nature. Next article that we are moving into is all about cell therapy cancer center takes shape in Bangalore. Trials are on. You have to know the center would conduct a phase 2 trial of Spanish CAR therapy for treating patients with leukemia and lymphoma. Strategic collaboration with Spain-based hospital clinic Barcelona. It had successfully conducted a remote tech transfer of HCB on manufacturing protocols. Therapy modifies a patient's T cells using the inactivated HIV virus to weaponize them to fight the cancer cells. In CAR cell therapy, we extract the cells from the cancer patient's body and use a virus modified version of HIV that has no risk of HIV to deliver the genes to the cells that weaponize the T cells and can attack the cancer cells. Next article that we are moving into is all about 94% of money meant for welfare of the laborers lying unused. Flagging irregularities in the way of compensation was granted to the construction workers in the event of death. Control and Auditor General report tabled in the New Delhi on Tuesday said the cess collected for providing social security, healthcare, etc. are being poorly utilized. CAG said Delhi was able to maintain the revenue surplus as the pension liabilities of the government. Delhi government employees are being borne by Government of India. Next article that we are moving into is all about poll panel issues as notification for Vice President's election. Let us see you have to know about election of Vice President of India and what are the provisions related to Vice President. Okay. Next article is pendency increasing due to fewer judges. Hope government clears the names. Chief Justice of India pointing out that problems of pendency of cases is scientific due to lack of sufficient number of judges. Reasons for this is including growth of Indian economy, population, rising awareness and rights. In the absence of infrastructure and a sufficient number of judges commensurate with the increasing workload, why strongly advocating the transforming, upgrading the judicial infrastructure in India as well as filing up the judicial vacancies and augmenting the strength. Although arbitration is not new to India, he said the growth of Indian arbitration scenario has been very responsive to the global trends and demands. He said the presence of such international arbitration centers will not only boost India's global position as an investors-friendly nation, but also facilitate the growth of robust legal practice. This also provide a fresh avenue for young lawyers to indulge in the practice of international commercial laws. Next article that we are moving into is related to showing of rice Goyal urges. Food Minister Piyush Goyal appeals to the states to increase the showing of paddy comes at a time when the wheat stock in the central pool has come down to 311.32 LMT as on June 1. Next article is Odisha figures among the top states in implementing NFSA, that is a government report. State ranking index for NFSA report prepared by Department of Food and Public Distribution. The index is the first of its kind, is based on the states, union territories' performance in the implementation of NFSA. They are ranked under 3 groups: general category, special category, union territories operating in GBT. First measure, coverage of NFSA, National Food Security Act, rightful targeting in the implementation of all provisions under NFSA, and second, analyzes the delivery of platforms while considering the allocation of food grains, their movement, last day delivery to the fair price shops. Overall, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh scored the highest and secured the top 3 positions in the index. A state performed very well on the all parameters indicators governing the implementation of NFSA through the targeted PDS. Next article is all about Jaishankar's PM relation with the Gulf leaders, calmed situation in Nippur remarks. India is on right course regarding the situation in Ukraine. The most issue now is to prevent further escalation of hostilities. He said India's position on Ukraine is based on Krishna's action in Mahabharat, which was to avoid war and return to dialogue and diplomacy. He said New Delhi had historical interest, strategic interest, current interest, and it needs to manage those interests. He also says it is an issue about the fuel shortage, it is an issue about food shortage, it is an issue about of fertilizer shortage, which will become food shortage in the coming years. The article says. Next article is all about learning from Delhi. This article is important related to mains GS 3, that is economy. What to read and why is what do we mean by flood, why Assam gets flooded every year, and its adverse impact, and what mitigation measures needs to be adopted. You have to know from this article. Okay. Next article is years flood in Assam have been merciless. That article is years flood in Assam have been merciless. The story of this year's flood starts in the Bay of Bengal. As we know, Bay has a major influence on monsoon in the northeast India. One from distant Pacific, La Nino, and another in tropical Indian Ocean, negative dipole condition. To add that, warmer atmosphere because of climate change can hold more moisture, leading to intense bouts of rain. Part of northeast experienced a month and a half rains in 12 to 10 to 12 days. This is just one cycle of annual floods, more likely to come this month and in August, perhaps later as well. This indicates that environmental factors unique to each locality are responsible for flood. Lowland and riverine areas bear the brunt of deluge. The flooding pattern is usually repeated year to year. However, at times this pattern is disturbed this year. For example, such massive flood are also not unusual in Assam, but there is no standard pattern to recurrence of mega unpredictable floods. The incidence of such mega flood depends upon the several variables like unusually high rainfall and failure of critical embankment. Let us continue this article in the next video. If you like the video, please do share, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a nice day.